What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Justin Timberlake is releasing a new album on February 2nd titled Man of the Woods. Before we get into the track listing, which is the purpose of this video, I wanted to talk about the recent controversy of the trailer and the art that he's been putting up on Instagram and Twitter. I wanted to talk about that because I see a lot of people speculating that Justin Timberlake is not going to make an album like 2020 Experience or Future Sex Love Sounds. A lot of people are crying out that he looks like he's going to be making like a country, all lives matter type of album. I've seen so many people like, oh, Justin used our culture and now he's going to go do something else. I don't get that vibe from him. It's like when you look at Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is making pop music. She jumped into hip hop for a few years and then jumped back out when it really wasn't beneficial for her. And then she went and did an interview where she kind of denounced hip hop, said it was degrading and disgusting. I don't think Justin's going to go that route. Justin is someone who has always felt like authentic in what he does. He's always made great music. Here's the thing though, inspiration strikes in places that you might not expect. Justin is from Tennessee, and he said that this album is inspired a lot by the music of Tennessee. So it's kind of like, I don't look at it as him like denouncing black culture or jumping away, distancing himself from that. He's just making something that is inspired by where he's from. And you can't fault him for that. I don't think that there's any issue with what he's doing currently. Now, keep in mind that a lot of this outrage and controversy was before we even heard the first single. Filthy came out last night. For me, the song, I think it could grow on me. It's got that like Future Sex Love Sounds vibe to it, but it just doesn't feel like the one. This is not the record that you're going to hear all over the radio. I will say that it'll probably ease a lot of people to know that he's not necessarily going in that, that country, that whole different style of music. I mean, at least not for the first single. I'm not saying that there won't be that on the album, because there very well could be. But to say that Justin is not going to make the type of music that he's always made in the past would be a lie, because clearly he's going to do some of that, if not more than anything else. So let's get into this track listing. We are going to be getting a total of 16 songs from Man of the Woods. And the track listing to me doesn't look like anything spectacular. If anything, I feel like it'll raise the controversy back up just a little bit because of the song titles. I mean, you got songs on here called like Flannel, Breeze Off the Pond, Living Off the Land. Records like that is going to make people think, oh, he's going to go in a different direction again. And I'm going to reserve judgment until I actually hear this album. I just think that this track listing isn't that enticing for me. Part of the reason is nothing really jumps out. I think having heard the first single, I don't know if I'm going to experience an album as great as like the 2020 Experience Part 1, or if we're going to get something along the lines of 2020 Experience Part 2. I could definitely see this album being broken down into sections, because it feels like, haven't heard Filthy, then the next song on the album is Midnight Summer Jam, then Sauce. Then you go into a record called Man of the Woods. And so I can kind of see if Justin were to break the album down into sections. You'd have like the first 3 songs, got that R&B, pop, Future Sex Love Sounds vibe to it. And then, like the Flannel, Montana, Breeze Off the Pond, Living Off the Land. Like those records could very well be country. There's also a record on there called Say Something, and it's confirmed to feature Chris Stapleton. So I really don't anticipate Chris being a part of anything other than a country influenced type of record. And then there's another guest feature on here that simply says AK. And now, as far as I know, it hasn't been confirmed who it is, but it's like there's a couple potential AKs that come to mind. Alicia Keys, there's Anna Kendrick, and I think that's all that comes to mind. So I don't know who is going to be on the record called Morning Light, but those are the only two guest features on the entire album. Justin has never been someone who like fills up his albums with guest features anyways, but I am a little bit disappointed to not see anything like appealing to the eyes. I think it's good that Timberlake and Pharrell have been heavily involved in the album, because I feel like that kind of gives you like the reassurance that we're going to get some of that classic Justin on here. But keep in mind though, Timberlake and Pharrell, they also like to experiment. I mean, Pharrell just dropped the new NERD album, and that was full of a bunch of what the hell moments, musically. But it's like, I look at it like this album might be very different from what Justin has done in the past, but I'm not going to write it off. I'm not going to write Justin off and say he used black culture and now he's moving away from that. This could be an album that he makes out of passion for whatever reason. Something that he was inspired to do, and then he'll go back to making the music that we know and love for the most part. But I mean, it's a complicated situation, because some people won't think that way. Some people won't look at it in that aspect. So that's all I have to say so far about Justin Timberlake's upcoming album, Man of the Woods. I'll include the track listing in the description section so you could check that out. Let me know what songs you're looking forward to. What do you think of the new song Filthy? Do you think that that is like the smash hit that Justin needs? Or is it going to just be a record that comes and goes? And then like all the controversy surrounding it. What do you think about it? Do you think it's justified, no pun intended? Or do you think that a lot of people are speaking unfairly about the direction that Justin might go in with this album? Afterwards, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video, follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. Until next time, peace.